Hi Becky, thanks for being here.
Hi Charlotte.
I'd love to ask you some questions.
Okay.
That's great. I'd love to just dive straight in and ask you, what makes you so passionate about the work you do? What's the whole reason behind you doing such different work to many other people?
It's to introduce a little bit more play and freedom into people's lives and things to be a bit less regimented and prescriptive. So rather than exercise, I prefer to talk about movement and reintroduce that idea. You know, when you're a kid, how you just love to move and it's just pleasurable, you do it for the fun of it. It's kind of reintroducing people to that, to the child that's still in there really and wondering what's happened and why they're not moving anymore. And because of that, there's a lot more freedom. It becomes there in the body, in the joints, in the muscles, in the mind, which helps to reduce pain, because as soon as you've got more movement going on in there, there's much less pain and stiffness. So what I really enjoy is seeing how people's minds and their bodies are transformed in their relationships to themselves and to movement. It's a real joy to see a body start to move with so much more freedom and ease and pleasure, really. You know, a real pleasure in moving.
Sounds really wonderful. Did you say playfulness is a real key word in your work?
Yeah, definitely. It's I take what I do very seriously, but we play a lot in the classes. There's a lot of laughter, a lot of humour. I use my imagination an awful lot, so we have a lot of imagery. I use words and imagery to create the movements in the body rather than making shapes at the front of the class and getting people to copy me.
It's lovely. I'm hearing people really do enjoy your classes. So what is it you do in the classes? Could you expand on that a little bit more, that makes your classes so different?
I tell you, one of the main things I get as feedback from people is that they feel very much accepted in the class. There isn't that concept of things being right or wrong or having to get it right all the time. So yeah, there's a real sense of acceptance. So a lot of people who used to think that exercise had to be boring or a bit of a chore or was even embarrassing can find that they can really start to enjoy moving their bodies in these classes, because it isn't boring. It's not the same every week by any stretch. It's certainly not a chore, because it's playful and it's inquisitive, it's very experiential, and yeah, there's total acceptance. So if your body or you don't feel like doing a particular move, you don't have to. There are lots of different levels I can introduce into each movement. So there's definitely there are no have-tos. If your body says, I don't really want to do that right now, then that's fine. So it's not a no pain, no gain kind of situation. It's really about listening to your own body and then self-regulating. So that's one of the things that I find people really, really appreciate in the classes is if they don't feel like doing something right then, they really don't have to. But most people like to try. So there's this sense of pushing up against the comfort zone, but not jumping right outside it, and really listening to your own body.
It certainly sounds wonderful. It's something I'd love to try as well. I like that kind of approach to exercise.
Mm-hmm.
So how could I find out more about what you do and your classes and how I could join in? Could I try something out?
Yeah, so I run some free taster classes every so often, so certainly it'd be worth coming and trying one of those, because to be honest, it's very difficult to explain what it is I do and the magic I weave within the classes. You really need to experience it. So a free taster would be a fantastic idea. But the numbers are quite limited. I keep my numbers small in my classes so I can give everyone plenty of attention. So you'd need to let me know sooner rather than later that you wanted to come to one of those. And also there's my website. So www.movementwiththought.co.uk, and you'll find out more about me and my qualifications and my background and the classes that I teach and where I teach them and when.
That's lovely. I gather you've got a lot of qualifications to be able to do this.
There are a lot. I've done a lot of different courses and a lot of reading and a lot of self-exploration as far as movement's concerned, and I've created really my own way of doing it, but based on some very solid grounds.
That's lovely. I'll go and have a look at your website and look more into it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Charlotte.